Last time on RadicalSoda's Sword and Shield Review!
Is that?
That's right, baby, it's a Sizzlipede. Look at that mustache!
I'm that Magikarp. Did Solrock just use Rock Throw? Whoa!
If I'm big thick, then she's giga thick!
Hey, Sonya, didn't expect you to be here!
Sometimes I ask myself, what am I doing here?
It's like a roller coaster.
I think of all the reasons, but
Hey everyone, RadicalSoda here. You can tell it's me because of my giant nose. Before this video starts, I've got an announcement to make. I've got something to say. A lot of my fans over the years have asked me, "Well, RadicalSoda, how are you so cool?" And I just laugh and say, oh, it's easy, you brain-dead scum. I only use the bassiest, the snuggliest, the colorfuliest, the everyday E25 Raycon earbuds, who also happen to be sponsoring this video. But RadicalSoda, I don't have the money for those. My dear idiotic fan, don't you know that while Raycon earbuds are of the same high quality of other premium wireless earbuds, they start out at half the price? Wow, I'm broke though. So get a job! I don't have a resume. While you make your resume, you can look forward to the everyday E25's great Bluetooth pairing and 6-hour-long battery life, which you can charge on the go in the carrying case. I sure can, RadicalSoda. Uh-oh, I accidentally wrote that down on my resume. Hurry up! Another success story. Now that you have a job, why don't you head down to the description and click on the link buyraycon.com/RadicalSoda and get yourself 15% off on a nice pair of earbuds. I don't know, man, I still owe a lot of money to the government. Raycon earbuds! Get them while you're financially stable. Here's a picture of me wearing them. Also, there's a 45-day free return policy, so, I mean, if you don't like them, hey, they got you, fam. And while I stock up, we might as well start another RadicalSoda's Pokemon review! Last time we ended on something I hated, this time we'll start on something I love. Zigzagoon is now a KISS band member, and it's great. Love the colors here, never got to use one though, I wish I had. Lanoona's looking real sifty with their tongue hanging out over there. Still really like the remixed design, it looks funny. Obstagoon is a good Pokemon too. I wasn't really sure what to think of it, getting up on its hind legs, but I think it works overall, no real problems here with me. Wooloo. It's fucking Wooloo, what can I say here? It's adorable. Double. I mean, he's fine. I just don't know why they gave him a grey beard. I think keeping it either black or white would have looked better. The spots throw me off a bit too, but I don't really care either way. I don't like Chewtle. I don't like the head shape, don't like his horn, I don't like how he's constantly in a bad mood. Cheer up, you twat! However, I think Dreadnought is alright. I mean, not a huge fan, but I like the Snappy Turtle inspiration and how they turned him essentially into another bear trap, like Stunfisk. Listen, I love Corgis. Man, I love them so much, but Yamper? He rubs me the wrong way, man. The green eyes are kind of creepy. He's got weird bits of green all over him. His tail is just a generic lightning bolt. Not a fan at all. Less so of Boltund. Again, it's just like they took a dog and just slapped some electric features on him. At least Electrike and Manectric looked legitimately like electric type Pokemon. At most, these two could be normal electric. Alright, Gossifleur. It's fine. No strong feelings one way or the other. Same with Eldegoss. I get the inspiration, just not my kind of Pokemon. Next up is Sizzlipede, and you already know that I love this little guy. Love the colors, love the mustache, and when he evolves he looks even better. What a fantastic Pokemon design. Roly-Poly started off alright, the region's generic rock type. I like how it gets around on a single wheel, but when it evolved into Carkol, what happened to its face? I can live with the rest, but Roly-Poly's eye thing was the best thing about it. This is just creepy. Don't even get me started on Colossal. It doesn't even seem to connect to the other two, other than the fact that it's holding coal on its back. And even then, it just looks like it was shoved on top afterwards. I hate this design. It feels lazy, and I wish it evolved into a train instead. Arrokuda is this region's common fish Pokemon, and it's pretty funny looking. I like him quite a bit. Barrascuda, on the other hand, not so much. The rotating tail thing is a neat idea, but his face is kind of creepy, and the swirl coming from the edges of his mouth makes me think of those old tiny mustaches that villains had, although that might be the intention. Either way, not a fan. Meowth didn't... What? Meowth didn't need to be a regional variant. He looks distinct enough to be his own Pokemon, and that coin thing, that just doesn't suit him anymore. But while I think Meowth looks fine, I really don't like Berserker. Don't get me wrong, he's strong. I kept him in my team for Ironhead. I just don't like the design. I was hoping he'd evolve into something else after Berserker, but nope. And that's all for now. Join us next time for whatever the hell this is. So next I actually went against my natural instincts and went inside one of the non-necessary buildings and decided to check out a single room. Surprise, surprise, something actually happens. Looks like this detective with the same model as every other male model in the game is trying to figure out who ate all these apples, berries. They're definitely berries. Hi there, Rob. here from another alternate timeline where I actually looked at these berries and didn't stop writing the script simply saying, wow, those look like apples. Because I started to realize that those don't look like any of the berries in Pokemon either. And on further inspection, after looking through every single berry available in Pokemon from every region, they don't look like any of them. They don't look like any berry at all. Heck, Game Freak couldn't even be bothered creating alternate models for different berries. Instead, they just look like big plastic balls coming from the tree. But despite that, these berries have a specific model? I don't think so. I'm starting to suspect that these so-called berries have been taken from another Game Freak game and shoved inside. And if not, then why couldn't they have modeled some actual berries from the actual game? How hard could that have been?
So it looks like it's up to us to figure out who done it.
Finally, a good old-fashioned Pokemon puzzle. By speaking to each of the people, it doesn't even matter who I picked, does it? This kid's Pokemon ate the apples, didn't it? Yep, juices around its mouth. Well, at least it's a fun little distraction. Nothing wrong with that. A cute way of getting the wide lens item, you know, like a magnifying glass. If you complete your Pokédex, I'm sure you'll feel a great sense of accomplishment. Oh yeah, I'm sure I'll get a great sense of pride and accomplishment for that. Or I would if the Pokédex wasn't ripped in half. As a reminder to those out there who want to say that you couldn't actually catch every Pokemon in all the other singular Pokemon games out there, you are correct, you are completely right. You have to trade in other Pokemon from previous generations or other generations into those games in order to complete the national dex. But, you know, at least those Pokemon were actually coded into the game, is what I'm trying to say here. I appreciate that the regional dex is a lot bigger this time around in Sword and Shield, but the reason why in previous Pokemon games they could get away with having the regional dex being so small is because you could just go onto the GTS and trade any Pokemon from any of the same generation's games, or transfer them from previous games. For example, if I wanted a Kyogre, I could simply trade it from my Gen 3 Emerald game, and I just slot it into my Nintendo DS, and there it is. Or if I want Ho-Oh or Lugia, I can just trade it from Heart Gold, Soul Silver. I can even use the GTS if I want to easily get any of the Pokemon without even having to buy any of the other games or DLC for that matter. Speaking about DLC for a second, I've seen a lot of people say that the National Dex Crisis thing is, it's not even a crisis, it's just an annoyance, is fixed now because they've added in the old Pokemon with the DLC. That's not true. There's still going to be about 200 Pokemon still missing, so to those saying that, I don't know where you're coming from. There'll still be Pokemon like, I don't know, probably fucking Lopunny still gone. I don't know. Why don't you go straight to Lopunny?
Pervert.
So back down to Route 9 we go, and, well, you know how it goes. Team Yell is trying to stop people progressing through the route. The bike dude is there. We fight Team Yell, upgrade our bike, yada yada yada, and now we can bike on water. Cool, I guess. Better than seeing an animation every time you want to surf. Now here's something I actually forgot about, but this fight specifically reminded me about it. Do you see anything wrong here? No, you probably don't actually. Okay, what if I do this? Yeah, that's all empty space up there. Back when our Pokemon weren't evolved, the camera angle was lower to the ground and our Pokemon took up a good amount of space. Now, most of the screen is taken up with the background. Look how tiny my Pokemon is here. Other Pokemon actually have it far worse. I don't understand why it's like this, and it persists throughout the entire game. I think maybe they did this so you could see Pokemon that fly properly, but why wouldn't they just lower the camera for Pokemon that don't then? Or better yet, change some of the Pokemon that don't fly often and make them stand on the ground again like in previous generations. Charizard looks stupid constantly flapping his wings. Salamence? He's not even in this game. Tropius? Oh, he's not here either, but you know, Xatu? A Pokemon in the actual game, it looks silly as heck just hovering there. Put him back on the ground. But that would involve creating new animations, and goodness knows Game Freak seem to have a phobia of that. The only reason all these Pokemon are flying anyway is because of the flying battles in X and Y, and they got rid of those the next game. I found a funny looking Pokemon over here. Oh, I think it's Boppo's evolution. Oh, I don't like that mouth. Oh, no. I thought it had a wee W mouth there, but oh, that line there is... Oh, no thanks. I did catch it, though, called a Grumbo. So, Route 9. Route 9 stinks. It's the most boring, bland, unappealing route in the entire game. With Pokemon Sword and Shield's take on route design, that being shallow, this overly large path is nothing more than a slog. There are trainers scattered here and there, and how they got here is beyond me. There's a hint of a joke with people sunbathing in the snow, and then maybe that's a joke about how England always has crappy weather, even in the summer. I mean, it might be. It's not funny, but I mean, sure. Make more sense if it was just foggy and raining. The trainers here generally just have water-type Pokemon like Wishy-Washy or Wailord. Oh, are we seriously going with this? No, really. Are we just gonna accept that the biggest Pokemon ever conceived is represented as being the size of a large beanbag? The fucking Dynamax version is closer to his actual size than the normal model. Why are Pokemon being scaled correctly in the overworld if they're just gonna be shrunken down in battles? Let's go Pikachu and Eevee did this right. What's the excuse here? Pathetic. Just pathetic. Distant Kingdom has done a great video on this. I mean, look at all the other versions of Wailord in console games. Now in Sword and Shield. Forget why he's not properly scaled, at least make him bigger than the rest. Right now he's smaller than my goddamn creepy ass gorilla guy. Just another friendly reminder that Pokemon is the highest grossing media franchise in the world. No excuse, no fucking excuse. Lady, what are you doing wearing that out in the snow? Your toes are gonna go blue. If you don't already have hypothermia, someone get that woman a jacket. Okay, now forget the desert berry tree. This is the worst placed berry tree in the game. It's fucking snowing. There are no other trees anywhere to be seen. The ground will be all salty thanks to the seawater here, if it is seawater, and it's growing on sand. I farted. So down below the sea, we reach Outer Spikemuth. What the heck is with all these sub-areas? It's a nightmare for a Nuzlocke. We make it to the next town, but unfortunately the gate is down and none of these people can get in. All 4 of them. Guess there aren't many people living in Spikemuth, especially since 2 of them are gym challengers. But Marnie's here too, calling us over from the bushes. We head on over and, oh, here's an entrance. Why the heck doesn't anyone just go around the shutter to see if there's any other entrances to the town? Actually, how can they block off the entrance to a town with a simple shutter? What sort of town only has a singular entrance? So Marnie wants to battle us, but I need to heal up my Pokemon, so I decline for now. Whoa! Don't fucking move me into the path of the giant monster jellyfish game! Actually, why did it move me anyway? That's the sort of shit I'd do in RPG Maker or something to make sure my character was in the right position for the next scene. Here it just looks really janky. Just make the barrier this line here, and then when you decline the battle, just have your player take a single step backwards instead of going to this one very specific spot. So the reason why Marnie wants to battle us is, apparently she's my rival. What? Since when was she my rival? I've already got Hop and Bead. This is just turning into X and Y faster and faster. After the battle, which of course had her theme playing while we fought, it's a good theme, not as good as Bead's, but good. I just feel like it doesn't really reflect her as a character. Then again, to be honest, I don't think she reflects her as a character. From a first glance, I see several different traits. The punk-style hair mixed with the girly bangs and ribbons, the studded leather jacket over the pink dress, the bored, serious expression she carries. All of these physical features point to a character that she just isn't. From her design, I expected her to be a tough, rude, blunt, maybe even a little spoiled girl. But what we get is a generic, underdeveloped, boring rival with little sass or spunk. Maybe if the game had voice acting, we'd be able to get a much better read on her character. What I'm basically trying to say is that her visual design does not represent the way that she actually acts, leaving her as a boring, forgettable character. That is all. She shows us how to get into the town, and, well, it looks grungy. That's pretty new for a Pokemon game. I'm actually excited to explore it. It looks like this is the town where Team Yell hails from. They're all around the place, even in the Pokemon Center. Wait, hang on. I'm in the gym? This town is a gym? And the gym train is a Team Yell? It's almost like this ties into that missing gym leader, because the gym leader is Marnie's brother and Team Yell is trying to help Marnie win because they're the gym trainers. I'm embarrassed to say I actually didn't figure that out until I got here. I guess I was sort of on autopilot for most of the game. Speaking of Team Yell, the primary colors of the game are magenta and cyan. Why the hell isn't Team Yell yellow? You would have been able to keep the identity of them a secret too. Pokemon Gun is going to be yellow, mark my words. Actually, they're probably going to go for the most profit and release 2 versions again with almost no differences. Pokemon Sword 2 and Shield 2 ahoy, folks. Just a reminder, again, I have seen the DLC footage. Just wanted to keep all this in as they were my initial thoughts, and I think it's important to keep those in. And it does reflect on how I see the DLC. And that'll come. Anyway, this town sucks. And the gym sucks. It all sucks. The starting section with the Poke Center is about the size of a bedroom, and the gym is a straight line. There are Mr. Mimes blocking your way. It's a fucking Dark-type gym. Can you not just have like an Obstagoon stopping you from progressing? Why a Mr. Mime? It's not even this region's Mr. Mime. That one is blue. Also, when it starts to run off, it does like its idle pose and then transitions into a run. And Game Freak will animate a front flip animation for Team Yell, but not them actually landing. That could have been funny, but whatever. Near the end of the gym, a Team Yell member forgets to put on his full costume, revealing him to be a gym trainer. But I mean, dude, we already figured that out, man. So after Marnie sees that Team Yell has locked down the city... City? Are you kidding me? I'd love to run around in a huge Spikemuth city, but all we get is a straight line. Pathetic. This isn't a city, this is a 2.5D section. And everyone knows that if you make the transition to 2.5D, you're being fucking lazy. I've seen some people compare this city to the old beat-em-up fighters like Streets of Rage or Golden Axe, that sort of thing, but I didn't get that impression at all. Firstly, that'd make more sense in a fighting type gym, but if that's what Game Freak was going for, it was severely underutilized. Sometimes I just straight up forget that it would be more than possible for Game Freak to just add extra mechanics for a single area. Shit, they already did it for every other gym basically. Do something interesting here! Get us to pick up a crowbar and smash someone over the head with it. Anyway, here's the gym leader. We've got a crowd booing? What? And he's not even singing. Fucking, I said it before, but it bears repeating again. There has already been a punk-style gym with a singer, and she actually sung with real words. This is just awkward. Anyway, this is the stadium for the Dark Gym. It's not actually a stadium, just a small arena. I guess Spike Muth didn't have the funding for one. It seems weird to have a huge worldwide tournament and not have one of the biggest battles televised like the others. You can't even Dynamax here, a change I was actually happy about. Finally something different, you know. I like the changes made to this gym. Well, the final area anyway. And actually gave some character. Piers, his character. I love him. And Game Freak must have loved him just as much as me because he comes back later too. He's a good gym leader with real motives and wants. The others are so shallow compared to him. They're mere puddles as opposed to his... well, bathtub. He's still not that complicated, but he's good for a Pokemon game at least. Now, I said I wouldn't be using No Retreat anymore, but this is the Dark-type gym. Fighting type is strong against Dark-type, so I think we'll be perfectly fine, okay? One shot the Scrafty, then onto the... uh-oh. Thankfully, Melima barely does any damage in general, so we're fine. And there we go. Did you notice that Piers has his very own battle theme? It would have been so cool if every gym leader had had one. I mean, oh well. After the battle, Piers tells Marnie that he's sick of being the gym leader and that he wants her to take over being the champion. After the Champion Cup? She says no because she's going to become the champion, and I mean, good luck with that. A Pikachu clone will get you really far, I'm sure. I guess this is where she's ending up, much like Bede, who I'm assuming comes back as the Fairy-type gym leader. Why so many gyms with changing leaders? And wait, shouldn't you, like, take it up with the chairman or whatever if you want to change leaders? Like, isn't this a regulated thing? It's not like Spike Muth is even really well monitored. For God's sake, they shut up shop just to stop people coming in and the chairman didn't even do shit. Where are the policemen in this world? Weren't they in Fire Red and stuff? It feels like nowadays the only police guy is Looker, who, weirdly enough, doesn't actually appear in this game. He's been popping up since Gen 4, so I found that a bit odd. Actually, hang on, there are policemen. But they're high on shrooms in the middle of a blizzard, remember? So we exit Spike Muth and BAM! It's story time, baby! A huge explosion has occurred over at Hammerlock and even the champion's here! He runs off to see what's happened and we follow him. The tunnel back to the city is filled with onlookers flabbergasted at the sight. It seems that a Dynamax Pokemon is rampaging with a red light going off. We exit the tunnel into Route 3 where Hop is waiting. He tells us that a bunch of wild Pokemon have started Dynamaxing and are rampaging all over the place. Looks like it's up to the two of us to take him down. Oh, Leon's beat him already. Huh. I mean, hey, we get a picture showing us what happened. Are you fucking kidding me? The most interesting thing that's happened so far, and it gets reduced down to a single picture. A fucking picture. If that doesn't sum up the Sword and Shield experience, I don't know what will. For fuck's sake, honestly, what a fucking travesty. The next cutscene is back in Hammerlock, and we run into Leon and Sonia again. Oh, right, and the Professor Lady, and I forgot she was even in this game. She says some obvious shit about the Darkest Day, and Sonia's surprised by it. And we get a prompt to say the same thing twice, confirming that you'll help out about the Darkest Day, only for Leon to completely shoot you down again. What's the fucking point of asking if A, you're not even gonna give me two separate answers, and B, if the answer I give doesn't matter in the slightest? That's how you take control away from the player, much like you took control away from us in almost every other aspect of this fucking game. The final gym! Wow, it feels like we got here really quickly. Like, it took a very long time to get to the first gym, but after that we just kind of blasted through them, barely slowing down, at least that's the way I perceived it. Anyway, as is per usual with most final gyms, it's a very atmospheric and posing area where the puzzles actually need a bit of thinking. I'm lying through my teeth, of course I am. It's a single room. A single room where one by one trainers battle you. But oh, not just any battles, double battles! Yeah, no, this is the most boring and laziest gym in the entirety of Pokemon. Take a look at Raihan. What sort of a dude does he look like? Wearing hip clothes, that cheeky, confident grin. He takes selfies, for God's sake. Wouldn't you think his gym would be like, I don't know, full of stuff? A social media hub, maybe? A convention-style thing for his fans? I don't fucking know. Make it a BDSM chamber where Gudra does unspeakable things to him. Who cares? Anything's better than a single room. It's completely rushed, this whole fucking game. You cannot tell me that this is what the artists, the area designers, had in mind when thinking of the final gym. No fucking way. In Black and White, we stood on goddamn dragons. That's a good example of the final gym. Even Black and White 2, the calm before the storm, the place was at least pretty and had a gimmick. Fucking Brock, the very first gym ever, back in Red and Blue, still has more going for it than Sword and Shield's last gym. At least it had some fucking rocks. Anyway, so we battle Raihan. At this point, I was honestly still flabbergasted by what I just witnessed, as was with the trainers. His fight's a double battle, and because he's a dragon-type gym leader, all we need is a good fairy type and a couple of good dazzling gleams or something. Wait, no, Steel! I forgot Steel Weet-Bix! Way back! Oh, way back! That's really dry. Oh my god. Now, despite me being an idiot and losing a Pokemon here, I just want to point out something. Raihan has 4 Pokemon. 4! A measly 4! In Black and White, the final gym leader. Wait, what? They 3? They had 3? Like, shit, even in Black and White 2, Marlin had 3. In X and Y, Wulfric, who the hell is Wulfric? He had 3. Most final gym leaders have only had 4 Pokemon. At most 5, but mostly 4. Now I really feel like these games are just made for kids' shit. After we exit the gym, we're shoved into another cutscene with Sonia and Magnum Ice Cream, not sponsored. This cutscene is here so Magnolia can pass on the title of Professor to Sonia. For some reason. Can't we have more than one professor in a region? Anyway, as Magnolia says, she's giving Sonia her lab coat, which she puts on. That is not Magnolia's lab coat. Wait, she didn't even... They didn't even bother creating a model of Magnolia without a coat, did they? Fucking hell. Fucking hell! So I traveled back to the wild area to check out some of the final places I hadn't caught any Pokemon yet, and I found a Q-Font. Would have put it on the team, but already had a Steel type, and I don't like Copperaja quite as much. Also caught a Dynamax Roselia. I didn't want one, but I figured if my scary Gorilla Man kicked the bucket, I'd at least have another Grass type to replace him. Heading back to Hammerlock, once we get to the station, we have to suffer through yet another cutscene where Hopper's now completely back to normal. Wow, what a surprise! Almost like beating the second strongest trainer in the entire region means you're strong and you should stop doubting yourself, you idiot! Ha! Have it! Have it! Listen, hey, sorry to shout. I thought I was going crazy for a second. Fuck! Okay, listen here. In the next scene, we hop on a train with Hop, you know that. I figured, hey, wait a minute. They were using the exact same camera angle, train background, moving background, animations, and just basically the whole scene progression from the first train scene. I looked back, and let me shock you here for a second. I was wrong. So that's great, right? New scene then. No, of course not. No. The scene starts with the tapping feet, the same animation, camera slightly moved upwards for some reason, don't ask me. If I'd been tasked with this, I would have just copied the camera's position completely. Then it's Hop and your trainer sitting there, just swiping their phones like they did before. Same train background, same environment moving behind us, yada yada yada. But then I realized, Hop is actually leaning forward. Yeah! Look at that change, huh? High quality animation if you ask me. Of course, all they did was rotate his hips a bit because his head motion is exactly the same as before, but hey, that's something. And you might have even noticed something else. Can you guess what it is? Probably not, because I fucking lost it when I saw this going through the footage. Check out my character's phone between scenes. It moves. Now it's angled a little more downwards, meaning, well, now that not only is it intersecting Hop's phone and is phasing through it, although, hey, I mean, it's a bit hard to tell and see if it's actually piercing through it or not. Yeah, they're probably a few centimeters away, but here's what I was thinking. If the phone had changed angles, what else had changed? Well, the hand would have had to change angles too in order to still be holding the phone, right? Okay, no, they didn't think of that, I guess. I have no idea how she's holding that phone anymore, but all the more power to you, girl. At least they changed where her finger swipes, right? Of course they did it. Golly gee, I sure do like stroking the side of my phone with my finger. That's oh so fun. Fucking Christ. Hell, well, this isn't even a nitpick. A nitpick is saying, oh, this NPC in the background doesn't blink. Do they? I'm not sure, actually. All they had to do was copy and paste the animations from the previous scene, and instead, somehow, they messed up. High quality animations. So here we are on the route before Winden. It's just a fun Pokemon game, folks. Now, see here, I feel like I'm going batshit insane. So snow! Again? I don't know why, and Winden has no snow in it, so it just ends up feeling real samey, because the last ride had snow as well, but hey, what are we here for, innovation? If we were, we wouldn't be playing this shit. Hey, Hey, it's the bike guy again. Oh, wait, no, it's not. They just used a generic trainer for him. I remember now. Why make anyone who isn't a gym leader, rival, professor, or evil team boss unique, right? Please tell me there's someone else who has a unique design, please. I'm looking through the wiki now, and the only one I can see is the Fossil Reviver. I said the artist only battles you once, but his model comes back as an NPC a few times, and I'm not counting these clowns as unique. They're each other with different hairdos and a hue saturation change in Photoshop. They're so easy to make. We've already got Gunther. Gosh, this hike is really creeping me out. You know what? I think it's time for another RadicalSoda's Pokemon review. I think we're up to Milcery. It's a blubber milk. Cream, not a big fan. I am a fan, however, of Alcremie. With a bunch of different designs and toppings, I think this Pokemon is absolutely fantastic. In my second playthrough, I was fortunate enough to find a Milcery, which I evolved into, if I can remember correctly, a strawberry-topped yellowish Alcremie with pink bits all over it. I love it. Next up is Applin. I think it's pretty neat. Pretty neat. I like food Pokemon, what can I say? Flapple is friggin' weird, but heck, at least he's pretty inventive. However, I have no idea how he's flapping those skins. Has he glued the back of his hands to them? Appleton is a nice one too. I like him quite a bit. The only thing throwing me off is the eyes drooping over the sides of his face. I kind of wish those ears and his eyes popped up when the apple part rose. Oh well, it's a small nitpick. Farfetch'd gets a pure fighting type Galarian form and sword, and yeah, it's a fighting type Farfetch'd. It's fine. Sure as heck like it a lot more than Surfetch'd. Jesus, it might only be me out there who thinks this, but Surfetch'd looks too silly to even be silly. I honestly can't tell if they were trying to make him look this goofy or not, especially with Farfetch'd and his edgy look over there. Surfetch'd seems really stiff, just kind of standing upright, keeping his weapons real close. The body hasn't even really changed apart from color-wise. I don't know, I'll be honest, I thought this was literally just Farfetch'd's Galarian form to begin with. I don't think he needed the one before this even if I prefer the design. I've already talked about Stunfisk. Other than the disappointing move pool and really odd ability, which forces it to change typing in an elemental terrain like misty terrain or grassy terrain, I like him. I like the bear trap design. You can even see where Pokemon have stepped on him, although I kind of wish the footprints were brown. Might look better. Ghost type Corsola. Really smart design. Did Coral turn into a Pokemon? That's genius. Corsola is cool too, if not a little creepy. And thanks to a video from Lockstin and Noggin, I know that now its design stems from the nets that scrape along the bottom of the sea floor. So this is basically decapitated coral, hence its bottom hanging around there. It's a good video, I recommend checking it out. Impidimp is a little shit and I don't like him. Don't like his design, his colors. I mean, he's Sableye's creepy long-lost cousin, and that's really saying something. Have you seen Sableye? I don't feel like this one's design really screams Pokemon in any way whatsoever. Morgrim is a more greasy Impidimp with pants. So now I can imagine one without pants. Great. Grimmstyle is, weirdly enough, my favorite out of the bunch. I actually think he looks really cool. Don't know why, I just like him. And back to Route 10. Back into the game, back into the fun. Let's see what it has in store for us. Well, there's boring-ass wild Pokemon littering the area. I don't want a Snova. I had one in Pearl, and they are the slowest little buggers. There are some Sneasels and Bearticks too, but I've had those before as well. I just really want some of the newer Pokemon. Thank you. Ah! You know, I've never seen a flying bear before. You're in! Let's just weaken him a little bit. Share cold! You will be missed. Rippin', Pippin, Pee-Pee, Bonanza Gyms. Holy shit, they followed through. It's the reporter and a cameraman back from before. Of course, in Emerald, we would have fought them throughout the entire game instead of just in 2 areas. Actually, to be perfectly honest, I forgot that these guys even existed. It took me a second to realize they were the same people. That's who has unique models. These assholes. Looks like their Pokemon are just a bit tougher this time around. Good thing I have my brand new tough as nails Beartick I just caught. Come on out, killer. Oh god, killer. And here we are, the final, biggest, most incredible city in all of Galar. It's minuscule. It's got like 4 areas and 3 of them are single buildings. Yep. I was excited to see the largest city in all of Galar based on London, of all places. I mean, if Black and White can create Castelia based on New York City, and X and Y can create a giant round Lumiose city based on Paris, then surely Sword and Shield can give us something of at least equal value. I'm done setting myself up for this. Hey, the city sucks. It's got one thing that's new, being the Battle Tower, which is essentially the Battle Tree, which is essentially the Battle Maison, etc, etc. Every other shop you can find elsewhere, there's nothing to see or do. It's a planned fucking city. And it certainly doesn't feel like in-game territory. You could have shoved this into the first section of the game instead of Motor Stoke. What is there here to see? There's barely any fucking people here as well. Not that you'd be able to tell even if they were. They pop up fucking a couple meters ahead of you. It's like every other area in this fucking game. I'm sick of it. Sick of this game. I would just stop here. I really would. But even now, right at the last city, there's still more to talk about. For instance,
Next time on RadicalSoda's Pokemon Sword and Shield review! Will he finally complete the review with one last episode? That's it, fucking finish it already!